Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys. We had, it's been a lot has happened, let's just say, since I last spoke with you on Market Check, but obviously we had quite a bit of volatility yesterday. We're going to have to dissect all of it for you here live on Market Check, guys. I'm Tommy. You also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Tucker and Louie. Welcome, guys. The last 24 hours have been incredibly volatile, right? I mean, FOMC implications, equity markets reacting negatively to interest rates. We're going to talk about macro. We're also going to talk about some coins today as well. We'll probably do a little bit of post-mortem on a few altcoins.
Tommy, real quick, we need to tell everybody. Yeah, Max and Jackus have both resigned due to the volatility. So
yeah,
man.
What is that? What's that copy pasta? I can't take it anymore. I'm completely out of the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah.
Oh man. But seriously, guys, before we can start breaking down all these charts, obviously the implications of what Jerome Powell said, and really where we think both crypto and equities will be trading here over the next few weeks and months, you already know what I'm going to ask you to do for us, right? Smash that like button for us. Take out any frustration you might have over the last 24 hours. Maybe you got liquidated. Maybe your coins are down a lot. Maybe you had some zero DTE call options that obviously went to zero yesterday. Whatever it is, if you are upset, even if you are in a great mood, smash that like button for us. We're going to have a great show for you today. And like I said, we are going to break down everything that happened here over the last, it's kind of hard to believe that it was only 24 hours, not even 24 hours ago that Jerome Powell came up yesterday. And he, I'm probably going to have to defer to Tucker as far as what exactly was said on FOMC. I was traveling. We did get a rate cut. It was a hawkish rate cut. And I want to say the dot plot was revised so that we didn't get quite as many cuts next year as maybe the market was anticipating. The market threw a fit. Volatility spiked. And we know what happens when volatility spikes. Our coins hate when volatility spikes. Crypto had a little bit of a flash dump, but so did equities, right? I mean, it was kind of a market-wide sell-off event. And now, we're once again going to have to pose the question to the panel about whether or not the Santa Claus rally is real. And if it is, what does that look like? Of course, obviously with the VIX above 20, volatility is a little bit elevated. Bitcoin and ETH back at levels ETH back at levels not seen since like 1 to 2 weeks ago. So we do have a little bit of elbow grease that we need before some of these assets are able to once again begin breaking out and breaking up. But right now, I tend to think I'm personally of the belief that we've probably seen the worst of it already. It's not often that you see a VIX spike to that degree. And then continue to persist for multiple days and weeks. It did really kind of feel like an overreaction yesterday, but obviously when you have a move to that degree, there are going to be some implications, both short and long term. But I'd love to know really what you guys are thinking after yesterday. It was a wild day to be traveling, I will say, because I was kind of anticipating that we could have a little bit of a move like that, but I will say the violence that the move came with really surprised me a lot, for especially some of these altcoins. And of course, the violence that we saw in equity markets. The VIX was up 75% yesterday. How are you guys interpreting what we saw over the last 24 hours? And where do you think we go next?
Man, I think we did it yesterday. Honestly, I think we probably put in our low on majors. I can't say the same about altcoins quite yet, but guys, there was a significant amount of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, coming out yesterday, right? We had Powell come out, cut, which was great, and then put out a hawkish dot plot, which did not have the effect that it should have. Honestly, we had the dollar spike. We had some bird flu in California supposedly happening. The drones are still a thing. Okay. Um, what else? There was something else. There was another piece of FUD that was just dumb that we're dealing with. Oh, yeah, Powell was like, "Oh yeah, the Fed can't own Bitcoin." And it's like, "Okay, buddy, well the US Treasury can and they do already." So I don't know what that headline is about, you know what I mean? Um, it literally doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know who needed bids filled.
Yeah.
Um, but somebody did and they got
Yeah.
filled. So I mean, I think majors are pretty much done here. Like, let me zoom out a little bit on Bitcoin, but I think majors are pretty much done here. Yeah. Yeah, Bitcoin appears to be done. I mean, look, like here, zoom out. I'm on the 6 hour. This is not even that zoomed out. Like, what is that? You know, what is that? Each one of these times it was over. It was over. It was over yet again. And it was once again over, right? Like, and
Yeah.
each one was a higher low. This one was barely a higher low, but you get the point, right? You get the point. So I think it's about to be, I think it's about to be Santa season, truly. Well, what did we
Yeah.
name the title? Grinch Steals Christmas. Yeah, that was a pretty solid title. That was pretty good. That
Yeah.
came straight from the Discord, guys. But no, I think Christmas starts now, man. Now through the end of the year. I think we have some fireworks, but we'll get through the week. We'll see what happens. But yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, didn't watch the whole thing, but I got the sound bites, got the recap. It did seem as if he was on a mission to shake up markets a little bit.
He was for sure.
Yeah, you could. There was like unnecessary things were said. Um, the VIX doing what it did, I think, is a complete overreaction. It's funny because the last time we got the VIX spike, earlier in the year, we were talking on show. I probably couldn't tell you what show it was or when or where I said it, but it was like back then when that happened, and I was looking at the VIX spike, and I was like, I feel as if the only way for them to get markets to pull back at least slightly and cool down is for them to spike the VIX. Like, that's the only way I see them basically manufacturing pullbacks for legacy markets. Just because how strong the bid is, the people don't want to hold dollars, it's smarter to invest, and just the continuous bid. And we're seeing that come to fruition just a couple months later. Like the spike on the VIX yesterday, completely, like, you would think like something blew up, right? Like something bad had happened, a war had started, or something like that. And meanwhile, we got a rate cut, which is bullish for risk assets, and everything took a puke, obviously due to the comments and due to the guidance, which is that now they're saying they're not going to cut as much, or people are estimating they're not cutting as much. But if you actually guys look back to 2022, everyone was completely wrong about the forecast on what they were going to do with raising rates. So what makes us believe now that they're going to be super accurate with predicting how fast or how frequently they're going to drop rates? Probably not. They're probably not going to be even close to accurate or close to being correct. So yeah, I think Tucker's 100% right. I think there were some people that got to get filled on bids. I think legacy was due for a pullback. Obviously, Bitcoin pretty much been going up in a straight line for the past month. Not a bad thing to have a pullback, right? We're going to see these type of pullbacks in bull markets. Historically, we see Bitcoin pull back anywhere from 10 to 30%, 2 or 3 times during a bull market. And I don't even think we got that yesterday. What was it, like a 10%, not even like a 5% pullback, 6% pullback on Bitcoin?
Not very much. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
huge.
so it wasn't even that much, right? Obviously, most people are in altcoins. They're chasing the highest beta. So yeah, those people that haven't hit a winner in a while, continuing to get decimated. Yeah, it's tough for them. It is. But all in all, I think it was complete overreaction. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction. And I think ultimately, it might not happen overnight, right? It might take a little bit for the market to kind of take this in, swallow it, consolidate it before continuing higher. But I think we just continue doing the same thing we've been doing, right? And there's no reason to not, right? Like the Russell yesterday dropping the way it did on a rate cut makes no sense. With future guidance of rate cuts, just because it wasn't as much rate cuts that are technically forecasted, it still is way more bullish than where the market was and where the Russell was 6 months ago. So I'm thinking complete overreaction, a manufactured pullback, just because equities literally won't pull back otherwise. Obviously, Bitcoin and crypto affected by that. But I think we're okay. Are we out of the woods yet? I don't know. We could take another stab lower, bring the pain a little more, but we need this for a healthy market. So I'm not worried in the slightest. And I'll probably be doing some buying over the next couple of days. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think it was more than anything a function of positioning in the market. We've been talking about, I think even as like recently as Monday or Tuesday rather, I was discussing volatility in equities is probably going to climb in 2025, albeit it happened much sooner than I was expecting. But the stark reality is that people in equity land, when positioning tends to get built up, it tends to be very skewed towards one side. And obviously that's why when we see these unwinds in equity positioning, it's these just super extreme moves, specifically in volatility. And I think right now you have a skew that is overwhelmingly short volatility. Obviously, it's been with the trend, right? I mean, we're up 20% year to date on the S&P, but I do think that we're kind of hitting a saturation point, right? And that doesn't mean that this volatility unwind has to continue further, right? I mean, but the reality is we've seen the two largest single day increases on the VIX in the last 3 to 4 months as a direct result of this positioning. It's probably a precursor to 2025, but I think in the near term, just based on correlations, as long as you're not seeing the VIX continue to climb, and my interpretation of why we dumped yesterday is really more so because the Fed basically said we're going to cut, I think, twice next year rather than 4 times. So the market didn't really like that. We have a very headline sensitive market at the moment, especially in equities. So when we get any bad news, the market just completely shits the bed. And I don't really think that is going anywhere until you see a much larger unwind of positioning in equities. But with that said, now that we have had such a day in the VIX, if you are able to crush volatility back below 20, I think that's contextually very favorable for a rally to resume here and last for probably a few weeks or a few months, specifically in probably risk assets. IWM dumped today. IWM is like the asset that can't pump. It's kind of like ETH, but I do think the context is. I kind of think the context is pretty favorable still for small caps here over the next few months.
Tommy, that meme is too much.
The ETH can't pump meme.
The ETH can't pump meme. Yeah, it's bad.
Can't pump.
If you know.
Yeah. I still think Sol is at a pretty good level here, man. I saw somebody point this out the other day because I don't know what happened the other day, but the entire timeline was like Sol is completely cooked, like Sol is dead, whatever.
Even before yesterday,
Yeah.
people were saying Sol is cooked. So
it was weird. It was kind of like out of nowhere. But I think Sol's come back to a pretty good level here. We did draw this out the other day on on our Discord call. I said I think you sweep some of these lows on majors, on Sol specifically, but on majors in general, you sweep some lows and probably maybe not V recover, but I think you're gonna kind of do this. Right. I don't think we're just gonna nuke like that. That would be terrible.
How
I don't
about
think that's gonna
the DX? Can you pull up the DXY?
Yeah, I know,
We
bro. I
should talk
know
about the dollar. We
So
should talk about the 10-year, and
go
we should
to
talk about TLT.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
go to the
really
weekly, go to the or the 5-day. Yeah. Okay. And then zoom out. Yeah. Oh, okay. You got the same line I got drawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
I hate this though. I
what you're
hate it.
looking at here is the DXY, obviously a pumping DXY, usually bearish correlation to risk assets, right? But what I do want to point everyone's attention to, which Tucker already had mapped out, and I would even drop that line a little farther, but that's me being a cherry picker. But the line on the right a little lower. But if you look back to the left where you see the other line, that was December of 2016, right before we had a monster crypto altcoin rally, right? And if you actually look at the date of where that topped, it topped between December 20th and January 1st, on the left.
I know. I'm just seeing how far above that line it got. I mean, that
I
would be
think
110.
I wouldn't really go off the percentage. I would just take that FEG that you have on the DXY to the left there.
I know that's where that's what that line was originally. Like
Okay.
it was just the top of this FEG basically.
So yeah, I could see 109 maybe. Okay, yeah, I see what you were saying. Yeah.
That's just
but we are seeing an almost identical move in the dollar now that we saw leading into the 2017 bull run. 2020 and 2021, very wonky, very different. Obviously, we had COVID and stuff like that. So, but our next best example, which I think this cycle is replicating 2017 way better than 2021. And we're getting the exact same move on the dollar, right? That basically the last impulse up before leading to pretty much a year-long downtrend for the DXY, which allows the risk assets such as the Russell, such as crypto altcoins, to thrive and rally. So we're seeing almost the same exact thing. To me, in the moment, yeah, it kind of sucks a little bit, but seeing that did 2 cycles ago, like,
yeah.
if you have this information, that should calm your nerves a little bit, and kind of level your head back in the game, because it's business as usual, right? And we've shown these data points time and time again. So I'm not too concerned about this pump on the dollar. I think it tops over the next couple weeks. Whatever number it goes to, I really could care less. I don't think it's going to make new highs. And then hopefully it starts a year long, or at least however a couple month downtrend, which will allow the crypto and altcoins to thrive. So that's kind of think what we're looking at with the DXY here. So,
Louis, we had a
Did you see the
pretty direct super chat for you, brother?
Bald
Don't
Daddy,
read
can
it out
we
loud.
discuss the generational entry on base Pepe today?
I never let them clip you saying that.
That's okay. You guys, I'm not normally here on Thursday, but I knew everyone was in distress. So Daddy is here for you guys.
No.
Everyone's going to be safe. Don't you worry.
Okay, Z, I do need you to clip that actually.
Oh no.
Oh God. Yeah, the dollar strength is I mean, it's so funny. I remember talking about this asset or this index rather, because I mean, do you view the dollar index as an asset or just an index? I guess it's technically the same thing. But no, I remember we were talking about the dollar and that FEG up there. It's like, I really don't think we're gonna go grab it, but I see the liquidity, and sure enough, we're gonna go take that liquidity. I still think the high time frame thematic for the dollar is probably lower. What causes that? I don't know. Right? Like, what narrative is it going to be that kind of spurs that rejection on the dollar? But I'm still leaning that we are going to reject from that FEG. Although I will say, I think something like TLT is probably going to make a new low here over the next few months. And what does that mean for yields? They're probably going higher.
Tommy, you think this chart's going a lot higher?
I mean, it looks pretty good.
That's bad, Tommy. That's
I know it's bad. I know it's bad, but here's what I'll say is TLT, the last 2 times TLT has come down materially, crypto ended up pumping. So maybe I know it's not exactly the same thing.
Let's do it right there.
It looks exactly like it did in 2023 last year. Kind of doing the
Yeah, it
same
does.
thing.
Holy shit, Louis, that's good. Oh yeah, study that. Hang on.
No, even to the more left.
No, but look at the last time it tried to make a high. Just smacked. Boom.
Daddy's not home.
Oh my God, Louis.
That's such a boomer ring, like phone ringtone, Louis.
I know. Yeah, that phone's so old. That phone is so
No,
old.
we got to reject right here, man.
What did this do? What did this do in 2016? Since we were just looking at the dollar in 2016, what did this do around that time?
I mean,
Oh, it pumped.
Well, when it started dumping, when we started, it topped right in the post-halving year.
So it pumped into January.
It pumped into January.
Okay, so we're seeing that right now.
And we need to see this. Yes, we need to see this type of downtrend. And it stopped September of 17. When did we top? We topped in December. Yeah. So as soon as it really started gaining some footing, it was over. It was over.
Are we about to have another? Can you imagine if the dollar's about to, or rather yields are about to start pumping again? I guess it kind of makes sense because we're probably about to see inflation. I think the Fed's target rate of inflation being 2%, they're about to have to admit defeat on that, and that they're realistically 4% is more likely. I've been seeing
that was
chatter
never realistic. That's the thing, though. It was never realistic to get back to 2%. No. Everybody knew that. And I think he actually did say something yesterday where it's gonna take longer now to get back to that 2%. But everyone knows we're not going back to 2%.
No, it'll never happen.
Back to 2%.
Yeah.
That would require them to stop spending fiscally, and we know they're not going to do that. It doesn't matter who's in office. Like, they're probably going to be spending a lot more money, especially when you have a mandate, or what's considered to be a mandate by the people or the populace in this most recent election. So I do think that you probably are going to see that inflation target rise. I don't know what that's going to mean for the market, to be honest with you. I don't know what the reflexive reaction would be, but I do think long term,
we have to have this chart go lower. We have to.
No, I know.
Have to. Okay. Like you cannot be bullish shit coins and bullish on this chart. You can't.
I agree with that. But again, I'm going to say TLT, the last 2 times that we've moved lower materially were both times where crypto moved higher.
Are you talking about where?
Those 2 recent highs.
These 2?
Yeah. We moved up during those pullbacks.
Yeah, that was basically the bottom was November. So close enough.
For those who don't know, the TLT is inversely correlated with the 10-year. That's why we're looking at it. If it wasn't already clear.
Yeah, September yeah. Here's the problem though. How is it because people are selling TLT to buy IWM and ETFs and shitcoins, or is it just a complete abandoning of faith in the bond market? Because those are 2 different things.
No, you're right. I guess we'll find out. For me, kind of the weight on the scale for me is going to be, what does volatility do? Because I do think if the VIX gets crushed below 20, realistically, nothing else is going to matter. At the worst, if you crush VIX below 20, I think you're chopping around in equities. You're not really dumping. You're not really dumping on legacy until you see, I think, a more material move in the VIX, but also probably in move as well.
They smashed it already, bro. Yeah, we'll pull up move. We'll pull up move, but holy, they already smashed it. They need to kill this thing. They need to kill it back to 12. That was something concerning the other day. Was the move was good? Is this the right? We want this lower. Yeah. Okay. This is good. This is good. Yeah. We want this. We want this low.
That's
Yeah.
low as possible.
As low as it'll go. We need this thing at 0, man. We do not
Wait, go
want
back
bond
to
market volatility. Huh?
what does the VIX look like? I haven't even looked at the VIX yet this morning.
It's down like 20-25% today, I think.
Yeah,
So
look.
that's-
So it spiked to 30, 28 yesterday, and then they opened it lower, a lot
Oh,
lower.
it's cooked. That's a nice meat stick, though.
It is a nice
I
meat
really
stick.
think that we are setting up for such an epic volatility blowout in 2025.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
You can just see how sensitive
Mhm.
the market is to any bad news, especially volatility. It's happened twice in 3 months, 4 months.
Mhm.
That positioning is going to keep. I really think that positioning is going to keep getting more skewed, and we'll find out after they crush it again just how big a potential volatility spike is going to be.
Okay, look, guys. Here's what we need to do. So
We need to hit the like button.
Well, we need to hit the like button, but they need some motivation. And I was talking to my buddies who watch this stream sometimes, and they're normies, and they were like, "Yeah, whenever you guys start talking about graphs, they say graphs, not charts. First of all, they say graphs. They're like, I don't care. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. They're like, I literally just listen to be told that my bags are gonna go up. So we need some motivation here. Because look, that's where we're at, right? Like we're all on the same page. Like we are all bullish. We all think the bags are gonna go up very soon. They've already gone up a lot, first of all, but all the charts, all the data, all the stuff we're like combing through with a fine-tooth comb is to say your bags will go up, right? Like that's
This
the
is the
end
data to back
results.
that up.
Yes.
This is
Yeah,
like
this is
proof.
just all the behind the
We're
scenes
not.
shit.
We don't just pull this out of our rear ends.
We're painting the full picture.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have a market that it hit 6,000 on the S&P. It's a huge level, not just for it being a round number, but from a positioning standpoint too. We were expecting a move on volatility, and as we know, volatility is inversely correlated to the price of our assets. Seeing this move on volatility ahead of a period that is expected to be favorable for the markets is probably going to end up being a good thing as long as volatility doesn't get out of control. Because it just gives more fuel, as we saw in August, guys, when they crushed the VIX. I mean, it's obviously not nearly as extreme of a move, but I want to say when the VIX opened in August, it was only like 35 anyway. It wasn't as high as it was trading in the pre-market, but when they crushed the VIX, we basically created the fuel for the next leg up. There will be problems next year. I feel very comfortable saying that there will probably be problems at some point next year related to the VIX, related to volatility. But in the meantime, I think if you're crushing volatility in the near term, you are probably going to see a large impact for markets to be able to push higher. But like Tucker was pointing out as well, like at the same time, you can't have yields go higher, because that's not, historically speaking, that is never a positive correlation for risk assets.
No, you can't have them nuking the bond market. You can't have it. Sorry, Lou, go ahead.
No, it wasn't. But can the yields continue to rise even with interest rates falling?
I guess because they have, which is not really supposed to happen, but
because I'm just gonna say it pretty blankly, like I'm calling the Fed's bluff on 2 rate cuts next year. I think it's gonna be more.
I think they're gonna probably have to cut more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna have
end
to.
up. It'll end up being bullish. I think like they'll end up having to cut more, which will be easier monetary policy. But whether they're influenced by Trump saying, "Hey, you guys need to cut right now," or something else, I don't know what.
Or something breaks, and then they go, "Oh, I know we said this, but now we have to do this." It's like, yeah. Like, look
That's
over
probably
here, but we're really over
that's
here
what I
to do
think is
this.
going to happen. They've kind of been using all of that short-term debt issuances from the Treasury to control the volatility market, and as a result, pump the price of assets, but also just control systemic risk as well. I kind of feel like it's going to blow up in their face at some point in 2025. They're going to have to cut rates, and they're going to have to print money. And then it's going to be bullish for markets, but it might be a little painful first.
Hey, look, we're
That's
bullish
just,
until this is at 0. Okay, we're bullish until this is at 0.
It's getting close.
It's getting kind of close. I'm not gonna lie, but we're bullish until this thing is zeroed out. Let's put this
That
at
looks
0.
like man, oh man, that kind of looks like SMCI a little bit.
I'm setting an alert at 0. Wait, can I even do that?
Or just above 0.
Yeah, right at 4 billion. Wait, I can't set alerts on this chart. What the hell? Whatever. We'll watch it. But yeah, because this was the bottom. This distribution up here was the Schmiko bottom for risk assets.
Looks like it was the
Q4
top too,
22.
but it took a while for the top to play out.
No, this was 2022.
No, I know. I mean, 2018 to 2021, it was floored, but obviously you had a lot of stimulus in between. What did it look like in 2008?
We don't. Oh, yeah, we do.
We don't know.
2000.
It was floored in 2008, but I just wonder how long. Oh, we do have the data. Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they spiked it in 08 and then stimulated, basically. I mean, this was like the bottom, right? Let me just see this. So where was the bottom? The bottom was here. Yeah, the bottom was the top of this chart. That makes sense. And then when it got floored was basically the recovery, even though we've been sending this whole time. It just dropped in like a month. No, it dropped in a month rather than right now taking years to drop. 2 years to drop. So I don't know. Either way, when this thing gets to 0, pay attention. Okay, time to pay attention because
Decision time. Volatility incoming.
volatility incoming. Oh my god.
I think that's a good spot to pivot to some postmortem, some altcoins. Maybe we look at majors as well, Bitcoin and ETH. I really don't think ETH's going to sweep that 35, those lows at 3,500 at this point. Maybe it does. I don't know. I think you could see some pretty quick recoveries, and not quite to the same degree as maybe August because we didn't get the same blowout on Bull. But if they I'm going to continue to say, whenever they crush VIX below 20, the market, you will be surprised at how quickly the market will forget a day like today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Here come the double top callers, though.
Oh yeah,
double top. Yeah, I hated this, man.
Proven otherwise.
This
I didn't like that.
That sweep was when I was like, all right, because I was in some longs. I was in some ETH longs from like 3,900, and I saw that candle right here. I said, all right, I'm good. I'm closing that shit. The sweep in G was no good.
We ditched our longs at the perfect time, man.
Yeah, I did.
I still have like somewhat long dated calls on ETH, but
same. I think
those will play.
I still like the idea of having exposure to ETH to the long side and calls for like end of February or March.
Yeah,
I still think Q1 is more than likely going to be the most favorable period of probably, it might be the most favorable period of 2025. I know that might prove to age like milk, because I know a lot of people want to top in the second half of 2025, but
no.
I'm warming up more and more to a Q1 top next year.
I don't know about like top, like true cycle top in Q1, but I think there'll be like a significant local top where not like, and when I say Q1, I don't mean like January. I'm talking about like closer to the end of Q1, kind of the time we've all scoped out. But I think it'll be one that's actually worth selling to buy back lower, aka, or just selling to get out. But
Well, it's been a market that has respected seasonality to a T over the last year or two. And I keep, multiple times already, I've kind of faded that. You always think like this time is different. Maybe next year it is different, but until the, kind of that situation changes, I'm not going to assume that it is. Bitcoin has had its biggest pumps within this market cycle in Q1 and Q4 of both 2022, or rather not both, but 2022, 2023, and 2024. Why would 2025 be any different?
I'm marking out Q1 of the post-halving year for, let's do weekly, for ETH BTC, okay?
And
This one
historically, just to add to this, what Tucker's doing right now is ETH historically doesn't break its all-time high until January, usually, anyways. It's like cyclically speaking. So, but everyone's in a rush to get rich. So
now this was obviously very nice, right? And it took about till the end of January to really get going. This one popped in January, BTC did. Then they sold it into the end of March, and then it ripped through May. So either way, it's really the first half of next year should be good. But I mean, this is what we like. The timing doesn't matter so much. It's just when you see ETH rally like that, or rally like that, or send back to like, maybe here, okay, like 06, like that's when you sell your altcoins into ETH BTC strength, period. End of story. I don't care if it's in Q4 or Q1 or Q3, like it doesn't matter. Like that's when you do it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm listening. I had I'm a
Oh,
little sick, so I had to
oh,
like rub my eyes a little bit.
somebody wants to come on the show.
Should we let Chimp phone on today? I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's a good day for it.
It is a good day for it.
I want to hear Chimp talk about Popcat.
Oh, no. Not Popcat. Send him the link.
Hold on, I don't have the link typed into my my toolbar right now. Sometimes I'll type out notes of the things that I want to talk about on the show, so I don't have the link anymore.
All right, hang on.
Wait, there's a button down here. Actually, I got it. I'm a DM it to you, Chimp.
Well, this is a good opportunity for me to add Chimp on Discord as a friend.
Oh god. We'll see if he pops in here, but he got the invite. I don't really have a super strong take on ETH Bitcoin here. I kind of lean that ETH will outperform Bitcoin here over the next few weeks, but if we get into a situation where we start to see the 10-year rise and risk assets are going to start to chop or underperform until like maybe January or February, then ETH Bitcoin probably makes another low. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Hello?
What up?
Doing okay? How are you guys?
Bull market victim, huh, Chimp?
It's the worst bull market I've ever seen in my entire life, honestly. Every fucking coin is just down only, apart from like 3. What is the
Maybe
point?
we should look into Popcat, brother.
Fortunately, my bags are still going up.
Look at that.
Who's this?
Hello?
Huh?
This is Chimp.
This is Chimp.
I don't know him.
Oh, literally, you're about to.
He's a friend of the brand.
I'm kidding. I know Chimp.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, I was
Follow
one that couldn't believe Louis was bald. That was like a revelation to me. Yeah, Popcat. I mean, look at that. Look at that chart. That's a beautiful chart.
I think we're
That
bottom
looks like-
here, champ.
Kind of looks like the
know.
spell chart last cycle.
The Solana meme coin trade has become so murky. Like they
Yeah.
really bigged it up. Like retail's going to buy our bags, and then they fucking made chill guy and are buying fart coin. So yeah, I don't know what the hope is really.
There's only so many time they can rug people before people say I'm done doing this, and that's what happened
Yeah.
on Solana.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, with that hyper liquid, I'd be actually ruined. Honestly, I'll be out of the game. Thank God.
you
for
got a hype.
Yeah,
You got a hype
actually,
Timmy.
Yeah, and I basically took out most of my Solana and bought hype with it when I saw they were just going to like Ponzify it, and I was like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
They
that's
started
about
just
it.
when they were announcing they're buying back their own coin. I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay, yeah, I'm not fading
Yeah.
this.
We're buying back our own coin from the revenue we make from traders losing money. Infinite
Yeah.
revenue stream.
I was just like, you've got to be retarded to fade this. And I was someone who was like vocally pretty against Hyperliquid before, but I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, that I feel like Bonk can still pump because, you know, hashtag my bags and all, but I tend to agree with this statement from Dorito, who is a member of our Discord, guys. The Solana meme trade is probably done. There will be some, you know, I don't want to say that every Solana
But
meme
you got
coin
fart
is done
coin,
for
right?
fun, but the big ones, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of shifted to a new meta.
Farts.
Yeah. I mean, Fartcoin in retrospect was inevitable. Like it was inevitable. And I think I had several million Fartcoin coins the day after it dropped. So I'm not going to look at that paper hand website because it would probably kill me.
I'm not going to look at. I refuse to open the wallet where I had the early Pepe. I don't even want to see it.
Oh no!
For put it into perspective, I bought on October 19th, going back through my
Oh my
messages.
goodness.
October 19th. Oh no!
Bruh.
It's not even on the MEXC chart.
Yeah, it's not on the MEXC chart. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, hang on.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just buy some of the Farcoin meta.
It's not even on this chart. TradingView's been rugging.
Yeah, it's only on Deck Screener, but yeah, it's whatever. It's so annoying, and I think I held it to like, I can't remember where it was. It was a few. I think it was like 10 mil or something, and then I was like, I'm probably done. Yeah, not good.
I faded
It's
this
not
one.
Yeah,
I gotta
I've seen
stop.
lots of people post the Bowden chart now against it, saying
Oh
it's
yeah.
going to do a Bowden, but I don't know. I think Fartcoin's genuinely good compared to Bowden. That's the difference.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah.
you know.
There's Odin. There he is.
That was like one of the first like Solana memes, if not like first meme, but like that was like the first one I was like started hearing about. I feel like
I can't believe this chart has still kept going lower.
I mean,
You have
basically
Jim
you could try and buy it and just wait for Biden to die, and then you'll probably get a 10x off that.
Yeah.
God, yeah,
But
probably.
it might be back to your entry.
It's like a
takes
call
you
option on Biden's life.
No, it's a put on Biden's life.
Oh yeah. Well, it depends if you like him or not, I guess.
Yeah.
Isn't Chimsu still shilling this like every day?
Is he?
I don't know. I think so.
he needs.
Did you guys fade? You like me fade unicorn fart dust? Did everyone fade that?
Yeah.
I faded it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Faded that as well.
I keep fading these edgy metas because they've done so poorly in like every other phase of the cycle, and now they're pumping.
Every single one that I buy will go to 0, and every time I don't buy, it's going to run. So yeah. Honestly, Mog is holding up surprisingly well compared to all the other memes.
Yeah.
No buyers or sellers.
Umpires.
Well, that's
probably the only
that's
one
how
that
I
did
feel
okay off
too.
a Coinbase listing, to be honest. Look at like Moodang, which just fucking retraced everything off the Coinbase.
Did it?
Yeah, it's like below Coinbase, I'm pretty sure now.
Oh.
Almost every Coinbase listing has been a pump and then a dump. Can you pull up the Pepe Coinbase chart?
Yeah.
I want to see what that's looking like.
I think Pepe's different. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
That's their.
I have a feeling these
It's at
like
the open.
I'm not talking about Pepe, but I think a lot of these other small and mid cap memes that are being listed on Coinbase are just, they have to give a huge portion of the supply to Coinbase to even get a listing, and then Coinbase probably hires a market maker who isn't really bidding. He's just putting up asks and making people will cross into the spread, but most of the people who are crossing the spread are just buying these meme coins on leverage, so they just keep puking because there's no bid.
Yeah.
No, I could, especially over the last like week or two, like you could just tell Pepe was like anytime it tried to get off the mat, like there was just heavy selling pressure. But I like where it's at now. Like we basically swept almost all the lows basically from the listing. We could probably go a little lower if we get one more puke, but I do like where it's at, where like everyone's rinsed. Coinbase back to their basically listing price. They did what they had to do, and now they can let it go, right? So
I think
kind of
Pepe's
how I'm looking at it.
Pepe's like fundamentally different to every other meme coin. Like it is just different. Like as of the ones that are kind of big post 2023, of course. I mean, Dogecoin's obviously the original, but Pepe really did kind of start the 2023, meme coin idea, and so it's always got that first mover advantage, and it's Pepe, which is like one of the most widely used, most historic internet memes ever. So it kind of just, hits quite a few of the boxes.
This is a good question. What happened to WorldCoin?
Before we look at WorldCoin, Tucker, I wanted to because I almost feel like Pepe could be. Do you guys remember? So can you go to the ETH chart, Tucker, and look at the price action from 2020, 2021? Maybe not that zoomed out, but
2020, 2021.
Yeah, a little bit further down. Like right there, right towards the end of 2020.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Pepe could be somewhere in there. The structure looks pretty ugly after the dump that we had yesterday, but that choppiness before entering price discovery or really before, I know ETH looks totally different because ETH had the 2017, 2018 candles, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of where you have to be on Pepe here.
Are you thinking what in here?
No, I think more so like towards the end of 2020.
The end of 20, what, like in just that?
Well, I guess it could be. It's just not my bias that we are cyclically at DeFi summer.
I think Pepe to 100 billion isn't that crazy. That's all I'll say. At least 69 billion. You know what I mean? It's got to hit one of those.
Yeah, I like that number. 69.
I mean, that just makes the most sense for where Pepe will like top out. Isn't that what Dogecoin topped out pretty much there, didn't it? Wasn't it last cycle? Or was it?
No, I think it hit 100. Didn't it?
Doge got to like 90 something.
Oh yeah.
Right. What, 90 billion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was doing the dollar value, wasn't I? It's like 72 or something. It topped out, isn't it?
75 cents. Yeah.
Market
75. Yeah, that's crazy.
Where did it get to? Got to 98 billion. 100 got front run.
98 billion. I do remember when that was going up. That was like fucking mental.
I mean, dude, Doge was at 70 billion like a week ago. So quietly.
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's kind of like Pepe's like the newer Dogecoin, but I don't know if it flips or anything. I doubt that happens, but that's the vibe I get.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I feel like if you start to, whenever memes threaten a flip of Dogecoin, is usually right before they gig a nuke.
Yeah.
Should have just took a fat short on SNL.
Yeah, I mean that in retrospect is like fucking hell, like that's
Yeah.
obviously gonna be the
That
top.
was obviously the top. Yeah.
Barry Silbert, when he tweeted about it before SNL, he topped it. Yeah, I remember it topped like before SNL, and he was trolling all the Dogecoin people.
Yeah.
You just know Barry had like a multi-billion-dollar bag buried somewhere where he was just like, "Yeah, you guys are. I'm gonna bury you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry Silbert.
I've missed like so much this AI trade as well, to be fair. I've missed it, but like it's just like I just can't help but mid curve it. Like fucking hell. People like when Zerebro Python package comes out, it's gonna go to billions. It's like, do you hear yourself speaking? You're like, think some Python framework is going to increase your value by like $1 billion. It's just like, I mean, but the shit thing is, it probably will. So as I'm saying now, it's going to do it, and everyone's going to come back to this fucking video and be like, "You said that," but it's like, I just can't. I can't vibe with that. Like in my head, I'm just like, it's just so much nonsense. Like it's absolute waffle, absolute waffle.
The only good AI trade I've hit this cycle was I had Nvidia calls for the breakout from like $400 or $500 to wherever it traded before the stock split. I can't quite remember, but I hit like a big breakout trade on Nvidia. Other than that, I completely missed the Solana meta. I faded GOAT. I thought it was a fad. I missed it. But I mean, there's somebody in our Discord the whole time that was just crushing it.
He's still crushing it, bro. Dorito's a monster, a complete monster. Yeah,
I think there's really good potential in like in an AI coin where you like it's like actual decentralized trading. Whenever they actually like actually solve that problem, I think that will be a really good spot for where there'll be a real good, like a really, really good coin that goes quite high valuations. But at the moment, any sort of decentralized trading is, I think, kind of just vaporware because I don't think it's really that possible yet. But I think in terms of
rebrand as AI,
Did
Hyperliquid rebrand as AI?
That wouldn't surprise me, and that wouldn't surprise me at this rate. I mean, Hyperloop is just going to keep fucking running. I saw Kobe said he'd think it'd do a Filecoin fractal, and I was like, Jesus Christ! If that does a Filecoin fractal, some people are going to be fucking billionaires off this shit. Like, oh my god! Have you pull up Filecoin? Pull up Filecoin.
Filecoin.
It was Philcoin. I just call it Filecoin because that's what I thought it was. You know, Philcoin.
Is it
Filecoin? Hit like
$1
billion MVP.
If you do the run,
third last cycle, yeah. Look at that.
No,
I'm on a fucking log. Hang on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, imagine that 100, 180. Sound good? $180.
What was the market cap though?
The market cap of Filecoin topped at like 200 or 300 FDV.
Oh, it was FDV because the circulating was only 15 bill.
Yeah,
that was the magic of it.
Kobe had seed round for this coin.
Of course he did. Look at this price action back here, dude.
Yeah, insane.
Louis, pull up your chart. I want to see some charts. I also need to go make a coffee.
I haven't had my Tommy yet.
You haven't had any Tommy?
No, I'm hurting.
There you are. There we go. All right. What do we got here? Caspa? Oh no.
I was honestly running through my list. I did say if we get a sub 10-cent Caspa, I'd shove. Not there yet, but
man, this
is messy.
That looks really bad.
Yeah,
that looks like the
purgatory.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, this
is from 2021.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's like
that looks like it's about to nuke those lows.
That's what I'm saying. Like if we get, and we talked about this, like if we come down here, where the hell is my little drawing tool? Yeah. Oh no. If we come like in here, like I'd shove. I'd get back in and then ride it to 25 cents. you know. But I'm not buying in here in this range.
Jeez, that is a brutal looking chart.
I was lucky. I got it at 5 cents end of last year. So I ended up selling this for like a 3x. We pounded the table on this, saying starting to look weak, get out. Some people listened, some people didn't want to listen. But what are
Some
you gonna
people
do?
married their bags.
Yeah, no, I did it last cycle, so I understand.
Well, I always say, I mean, there's nothing wrong with marrying your bags. What ends up happening though is you end up with your biggest gains, but you also end up with your fattest round trips when you marry a bag. So you like at what cost?
Yeah. If there is one bag I ever married, it was XRP.
It's working
And
out
it
so
did
far.
eventually pay me. Just had to wait a long time.
I think max pain for this market would be XRP flipping ETH at these levels, and then like I remember seeing somebody post in I think it was like Rose. If you guys know like the Rose trading signal group, they said something about sell everything when XRP flips ETH in Q1. And that's never been my plan, but I was thinking about it. And it's like, wouldn't max pain just be if XRP flipped ETH from around these prices? So like nothing really went up except for XRP and one or two coins. That would be
I don't
awful.
want to be like, oh yeah, like I knew this was gonna happen, but like that was like my main theory. Like end of 2023, coming into 2024, my main theory was ETH had a killer cycle last cycle. XRP got pretty much cucked, like with the SEC. And I might even have a tweet out there where I was like, XRP will be the ETH of this cycle. So I think it definitely can, right? And ETH could still go on to have a great cycle. And that's why I'm not holding ETH. I'm holding ETH beta because ETH will do well. ETH beta will do well. I just think as a top, if you're going to hold a top 5, top 10 token, XRP just had the most upside catalysts, in my opinion, that, didn't get to pretty much flourish last cycle. So that is something that I kind of had a theory on. And, it hasn't played yet, but it's starting to, right? I mean, the PO3 that played out on this was great, right? This was sick. But I mean, look how low we are. Like this has a lot of room to run, this pair, if it wants to.
It's still not my base case that XRP is going to flip ETH, by the way, but if it did, I mean, as Jack has just pointed out repeatedly, this is the cycle for it to happen. Yeah. I kind of agree with your take on ETH, though, Louis. I think it'll have a good cycle. I think right now you're seeing Bitcoin kind of in its like, I don't know if it's the true adoption cycle yet or not, but I think we've kind of highlighted some things that point to the fact that it could be. I don't know if ETH's true adoption cycle is now or if it's in the future for some unknown reason. That's just kind of how I think ETH will do well. I don't know if it'll outperform other majors, and we've already kind of seen that from ETH Bitcoin this cycle. Whether or not we make, I mean, we could definitely make new highs on ETH Bitcoin, but something like Sol ETH, Sol ETH ran up so much from the lows that, I mean, clearly there were a few assets that were worth holding more than than ETH. When bottom? I think the bottom might already be in personally, but
I was close to selling some here too.
It really depends on what legacy markets want to do. I think if volatility gets suppressed below 20 again, I really don't think you're going to get that much more downside.
I need hyperlinks to go so high, otherwise I'm fucked.
I think we make another leg from here, but I have some smart friends that are looking for a pullback on it. I'd like to see it just keep chatting for obvious reasons.
I just don't see it going to 20. Like if it goes to 20, the market is in tatters, surely, because everyone wants to bid like 20 or below. So it's just either going to go there and just completely turbo nuke, or it's just not going to go there.
I don't even know where ETH is trading because that's probably like a 95K Bitcoin scenario.
I would say less. I genuinely think it'd be like 20 or below. Every time it goes anywhere near to that 20 level, it gets bought so hard. Like, Bitcoin would have to be like below 90, I think. And if it goes below 90, I'm fucking quitting. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm so done with this fucking market. Every time it goes up, I tweet the same thing as a joke, and it always is true. And it's like, we hope you enjoyed your dear citizens. We hope you enjoyed your 24 hours of uptrends, and that you must now endure 6 days of bleed and down price action. And it's just happened every single time.
So and your altcoins will end up at lower prices than when you started.
So bad. Ugh.
No, I don't even know where ETH is trading if Bitcoin for whatever reason comes down into like 95K, but I do think we're going to hold. I lean that we hold this low. When we were talking about ETH earlier this week, we said as long as those weekend lows hold, I'm not looking for a deeper pullback, and they didn't hold. and we went all the way back down to what, like 3550, 3600. So
yeah,
I think these
to be fair, I did have this drawn out. What was this? Not yesterday, but the day before, the night before the FOMC. I drew out this scenario. And it did make sense, right? Let's zoom out here real quick. Let's just do some ETH, right? So we obviously have been coming. We've been coming off range lows, coming into this major trend line here, right? This trend line goes all the way back to 2021 all-time high, right? Multiple attempts to get above it, finally poked our head above. But right above that was this major resistance, this red box. And if you guys tune in regularly, you guys have seen me show this chart, right? This was an obvious last case, your last resistance. So we did break a major trend, but at the same time, horizontals usually negate, ascending or descending trends, in my opinion. But this was the last resistance, right? And we came in, and we kind of rejecting right now, but which is normal, right? Because if you actually look at this is just one big range, right? Range low, range high, right? That's one big range. We came from range lows to range highs in just under a month or two, right? So does this move kind of suck right now? Yeah, but if you're actually looking at and zoomed out, seeing something go from range lows, range highs, reject on the first attempt, gather strength again and go, makes a lot of sense, right? And looking at it in hindsight, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that's what we got, right? So zooming in, now that you see this chart, right? Let's zoom back in. Let's go to the 4. That's fine. Right. This was as a telltale sign. Tucker talked about that, the sweep of this high. And there's some people that caught this, right? And that's great. And, Tuesday night, I did talk about if we did lose these lows, like Tommy said, it was likely we were coming into this little inefficiency move that we had here. And that's what we got. So we have this liquidity. Our liquidity's been filled. We technically have a higher low still from here. And we have this major trend line here that we need to get back above. And this is a scribble I drew Tuesday night. We'll get rid of it now. But, if you were in the Discord, you knew this was a possible scenario. So you were informed, right? So what we want to see here locally is we want to recapture this little high here that we did on this first bounce from yesterday, right? So 3,700 looks like the key number. We want to get back above this major trend line. If we get back above this major trend line locally, I think we continue to push range highs. This ultimately ends up turning into pretty much like an ascending triangle type pattern, which you see a lot coming into major resistances, right? And then in hindsight, this was just a massive ascending triangle under a major support, right? Something like that. So this is definitely a scenario that can play out, right? And it's likely it does. Can we come lower? Absolutely, right? Can we stab a little lower? Right? Like that'd be a big nail in the coffin for a lot of market participants. Everyone's already down from yesterday and hoping for this is the low. We could take one more stab, right? We got more liquidity below us. This would really knock out a lot of market participants if you went like this, right? And that would be a killer. And a lot of people would give up. And that's what the market does. The market's going to make you give up before it makes the move that it wants to make. And the big boys get filled and into your cells.
Whoa, Louis, that.
I knew you were going to say something about that.
Oh,
Tucker.
no, Louis. I don't know about all
We
that.
were here for the first half of it.
Yeah, maybe. I was getting coffee, but
Yeah.
I mean, I see
This
what
is
you're
my
saying.
second case scenario. That's my second case. First case is we bottom from here. Right?
Let me
But-
see a squiggly of case
gonna-
number one.
I will kill myself if that happens. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna-
Well, I already had it drawn, so obviously Tucker's not staying up to date on Louis' alert channel because I
Louis.
drew it out Tuesday night.
You post so many, brother. It's hard.
I do.
It's hard to get through
I
all
do.
of them.
I understand. Yeah. But
Let's see it.
yeah,
Just draw
someone
me a
said-
squiggly. Okay, all right, yeah, there you go. That's more.
And then I said ultimately this would end up being just a massive like ascending triangle into a massive resistance, right? And like looking back, that's what it could turn out to be, right? But
Is there like
and
a
I said that's pretty
daily-
likely.
Is there a daily FEG somewhere, Louis, that needs to get?
Well, this right here this is why I put this scenario. I knew
Yeah.
this didn't know, but I said this was a possible scenario because we had liquidity here, right? So I said if we lose these lows, we're dropping here. Maybe deviate the major trend line, get back above and go, right? So that's currently what's playing out. Basically what I was saying was worst case scenario, if they really want to bring max pain, we get one more stab into here. You still got more liquidity here.
No more stabs. No more stabs.
But yeah. So that's kind of what I was getting into. But regardless, I'm going to do a little buying here today, not specifically ETH, but I'll be buying stuff. And I'll save a little if we come dip into here and shove more. So there's just a testament to skimming profits on the way up when things are good, right? So now you have dry powder to scoop up the dip when things are bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about dry powder, brother. Can't relate with dry powder at all.
Oh, God.
Can't relate.
No, neither.
A true
I
professional.
mean, I never had any powder to begin with, to be honest. So.
Oh my god.
You gotta turn your Louis alerts on, Chimp.
Bro, I literally, if I sell a coin, it goes to billions, like Fartcoin. If I don't sell a coin, I round trip 90%. There is no in between. It's over for me. I've given up. This market has defeated me. Until the prices go up again, and then I'm happier. But yeah. Let's get hyped to 200 billion FDV by the end of next week, and I'll be way happier.
Yeah. I mean, Bitcoin is basically at channel lows here as well, right? So there's more confluence that this is.
It's just gonna fall out, bro. It's gonna go out the fucking bottom, and I'm gonna be killed. I'm gonna be crucified. There'll be nothing left of me.
Okay, let's look at that. Let's look at Chimp's potential death. All right, we have this.
This is oh god.
Look, all I know is that Ash Drake is talking about buying people's liquidations, and my quant is bullish.
This is true.
But if we do lose this channel, it'll be quick. It'll be a good old fashioned.
But many will not survive.
Yeah, it'll be a good old fashioned 2017 Bitcoin pullback.
About 90%
be like
of the space will be taken out back, and they're fucking.
Yeah, look at that, 25%.
Wood chipper.
But we are at support till proven otherwise, and we got tons of levels here.
Yeah,
tons of levels, tons of market structure.
Stop drawing the lines.
So likely,
let's keep those lines high.
Yeah, likely, we just continue bull chopping, reclaim this, and then go. Basically, what everyone thought was happening here, but this was the fake range high, range low,
Can we get some like Livermore accumulation cylinder like psyops on that chart?
I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what it is? You never seen that?
A Livermore?
Livermore.
It's like you know what I mean? Though it's like one of the
ascending crescendo thing, and
you know what I
everyone's
mean?
like, "Oh my god, it's doing this pattern! It's doing this pattern."
Oh, like the megaphone?
Yes.
Yeah, and then it just goes to like a billion after
Yeah.
it's tapped. Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
yeah. So there's Bitcoin, there's ETH. Pepe basically, again, this has been staring me in the face since we started getting heavy here.
Can't happen, Louis.
But I like the lows we ran. I like where it's at in the Coinbase chart. And if the market turns around, boom. If not, one more stab.
It's always one more stab, isn't it?
The box
They
is
have
green and Pepe is
They
green.
literally have to crush the souls and the hope of the normie market participant.
I've got nothing
They'll
left.
they'll give them their entries, and it won't allow too many people to get rich. Let's be honest.
Oh man.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
I think we've bottomed. I think we've bottomed.
No, we could have, right? Yeah, I think we definitely could have, but
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. One more sweep of the lows. We get one more stab up on the DXY. Oh, shit. Into here. This FEG.
Bitcoin
and we'll top like we did. It'll look exactly like 2017. It'll look exactly like 2017. Right?
Are we about to do the Bitcoin dominance double top?
Yeah, we could.
All right, someone said if chimp phone says bottom, I don't trust it. What the fuck?
Oh.
What did it do in 2017? It just fell off a cliff. Yeah, it just basically fell off a cliff.
I don't even get what this chart does. I know it's like how strong is Bitcoin relative to everything else, but like, is it good when it goes down or is it bad? Like I can never tell.
Good for altcoins.
Right. Okay.
This was like the start of alt season last cycle. January. Right. It tops in January. Like that's what we're looking at. Where are we at? January.
But are we gonna set a higher high in dominance, Louis?
I don't think so. All right. I could see a complacency shoulder instead.
Didn't Kobe just say that this is just ETH BTC but inverse?
Yeah, basically, kind of.
Right. Okay.
Kind of. But yeah,
get that comment off the screen. Get that comment off the screen.
Don't trust.
Don't trust. Let's look at my fractal. We're still alive. Oh my god, this freaking drawing tool, man. We're still in the magic box. We're okay.
Oh wow. That's like the bottom. Oh my god. This actually could be the bottom then.
Yeah. Like look at this box.
Oh. It is running the you think it's close? Do you guys not think it's running closer to 2017? I read 2017 there and I thought you were doing a 2017 comparison and I was like
No, this is the high from 2017.
Right, okay,
this is
yeah.
breaking in 2021.
Do you think it's more similar to 2017?
Let's look at it.
Oh,
I just don't have enough data here to know. Let's see. I mean, we did basically the same thing again in 2017, right? With the magic box. Looks very similar to what we're doing now. Just like your pause, your chop, and then you get your last final leg January into, this was a full year. So, but mid-cycle top. Wait, when is this? December. Oh, this is a month. Okay. Oh, so this is here. I'm in the wrong spot. We're here. Yeah. Again, looks very similar to the other two in 2017. We do this same type move for altcoins for the past 3 cycles at the same point in time.
Are you preparing for wave 5, Louis?
Yeah, wave 5 imminent.
Wave 5 is imminent. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that data helped.
Here to help.
Bald Daddy here to help.
Jesus.
God. Yeah, I hope Z clips that so that I can send it to you at like the most random hours at night or something like that. Oh, I think that's a good spot for us to be wrapping up though, guys. Let me
You want to pull it up?
Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, friends. All right. Hope that you enjoyed the show today. It has been quite the last 24 hours. Thank you, Jerome Powell. Thank you to the Fed. Thank you to volatility markets for really what we've seen over the last 24 hours. And thank you, of course, as always, to leverage traders. Maybe you're not having the best day, though. If you are on the wrong side of yesterday's move. All right, guys, that concludes today's show, though. Before we can let you run, I just wanted to run a few things by you. Of course, if you are looking for your go-to tool for this market cycle, guys, we have the tool for you. That is the BB terminal. Whether or not you are an active lower time frame derivatives trader, whether or not you are a long-term investor focused on making educated and data-versed decisions, we have the tool for you. And of course, soon, whether or not you are an on-chain degen who loves to trade meme coins, we have the tool for you as well. Once again, that is the BB terminal. So make sure to take advantage of it at these prices, because as we always say, as the market goes higher, the prices of our products do as well. And we were nice enough to package this together with our premium Discord, guys. We have the packages displayed on the screen currently, and that can be your go-to source of alpha for the cycle, as well as your go-to community, right? I mean, we have a kick-ass group of individuals in there, and we ourselves have a great team. We've been crushing this market for multiple years now. At this point, it's kind of hard to believe that I'm saying that it's been a few years, but it has been, and we have a great track record. So if you want to see our positioning, 4 or 5 hours of daily calls, and a lot more, make sure to check out our Discord. And remember, these two things are packaged together. Of course, we also have the BB Academy, guys. So whether or not you are looking to hone your educational base or reach trading level mastery, we have a course for you. Come learn from the entire Because Bitcoin team, and obviously how we trade, how we analyze, and ultimately how we approach markets. Of course, maybe these conditions are getting to you. Maybe you haven't picked the winners of this cycle. Maybe you have a hard time handling the downside risk, stomaching all the volatility that this market has. We have a solution for you as well. You can actually let the team manage money for you guys. We have an SEC registered hedge fund, BB Wealth Management, that focuses and prioritizes digital assets in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history of upside returns while also balancing the downside risk posed in any financial market. So if becoming an accredited investor or LP is something that interests you, we do have more information linked in the description below, as well as everything that I've discussed in the last 2 minutes. So definitely check out the description below if anything that I just said appeals to you. And if it doesn't, I promise if you try out our products, it will. But make sure to tune in for Market Check tomorrow, guys. It will be our last show of the week. We will be live 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is our typical start time. And of course, we also have Market Talk hosted by King Wabi, which is a Twitter space run through the Because Bitcoin X account. So make sure to tune in for his show as well and follow both of those accounts, King Wabi and Because Bitcoin, so you can be notified not just when we start not just when we schedule those streams, but also when we go live. But that's it from us, guys. We will see what this market has to offer for us here over the next few days. If for whatever reason we don't see you before Christmas, have a happy holidays and a lovely Christmas with your family and friends. And yeah, until tomorrow, guys, thanks again, as always, and stay safe.